When Hillary Clinton walked away from her email scandal, millions of Americans believed the fix was in. Those fears were only confirmed when it was revealed that former FBI Director James Comey and his henchmen had worked to water down their findings so they could clear her. But that all changed when Attorney General Jeff Sessions gave a secret order, and it is bad news for Hillary Clinton. Conservatives were outraged when they learned the details of the Uranium One purchase. Clinton's State Department did not raise any objections to the sale. They could have recommended the Obama administration block the deal, and after the purchase went through, Russian money flowed into the Clinton Foundation's bank account. A Russian investment bank with ties to the sale also kicked Bill Clinton a $500,000 payment. The Clintons escaped the initial investigation, which was conducted when Robert Mueller was in charge of the Bureau. But now Jeff Sessions is ordering the FBI to re-examine all the evidence they collected. NBC News reports, on the orders of Attorney General Jeff Sessions, Justice Department prosecutors have begun asking FBI agents to explain the evidence they found in a now dormant criminal investigation into a controversial uranium deal that critics have linked to Bill and Hillary Clinton, multiple law enforcement officials told NBC News. The interviews with FBI agents are part of the Justice Department's effort to fulfill a promise an Assistant Attorney General made to Congress last month to examine whether a special counsel was warranted to look into what has become known as the Uranium One deal, a senior Justice Department official said. At issue is a 2010 transaction in which the Obama administration allowed the sale of U.S. uranium mining facilities to Russia's State Atomic Energy Company. Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State at the time, and the State Department was one of 9 agencies that agreed to approve the deal after finding no threat to U.S. national security. A senior law enforcement official who was briefed on the initial FBI investigation told NBC News there were allegations of corruption surrounding the process under which the U.S. government approved the sale. But no charges were filed. As the New York Times reported in April 2015, some of the people associated with the deal contributed millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation. And Bill Clinton was paid $500,000 for a Moscow speech by a Russian investment bank with links to the transaction. Hillary Clinton has denied playing any role in the decision by the State Department to approve the sale, and the State Department official who approved it has said Clinton did not intervene in the matter. That hasn't stopped some Republicans, including President Trump, from calling the arrangement corrupt and urging that Clinton be investigated. Will this new investigation finally hold the Clintons accountable? Without James Comey and his crew to protect her, the American people may finally see Hillary Clinton face justice.
Your reaction first now to her statement.
Well, she had the director say that he didn't think that there was enough evidence to charge her previously, and now he's received new evidence. He had an absolute duty, in my opinion, 11 days or not, to come forward with the new information that he has and let the American people know that too. So she is under criminal investigation. The FBI, as Director Comey said some months ago, does not do security reviews. It does criminal investigations. So that's what's at stake here, and I hate it, but we also, I'm sure, have to realize the significance of these secret emails perhaps being sent to multiple unsecure computer systems throughout the country. That's very, very bad.
You know, as we go back to that July 5th statement by Director Comey, he acknowledged that there was use of an insecure system in the private email server. He also acknowledged that there could have well been hacking by, as he termed it at that time, hostile foreign powers, state actors. Yet he reached a conclusion not to recommend prosecution. This obviously, you as a former federal prosecutor, as sitting on the Judiciary Committee, the idea of releasing the information now could interfere with that investigation, but it seems to at least me, Senator, and I would guess millions of other folks in this country, that it's a higher, frankly, a higher purpose to be sure that all of the facts are in front of the American people before choosing the president for the next 4 years.
Well, it's a difficult thing. He does not do background checks on presidential candidates. That's not his job. His job is to investigate what might be a criminal offense and make a determination to recommend to the Department of Justice whether or not to bring an indictment.
Well, this is an acknowledgement, Senator, is it not, that Comey has already mucked it up. The fact is that server, or those devices, all were in existence during the course of the investigation that he said he had concluded on July 5th. Why didn't we know then what we apparently are learning now?
Well, that is a good question. It does appear this was learned from an entirely different avenue, an entirely different investigation. What they've determined so far, I don't know. But, Lou, I don't think it's a little bitty matter. I don't believe he would re-announce this unless he thought there was something pretty darn serious here that he had to tell the American people about rather than keep it secret, because if it's different from what he told the Congress in his testimony and the American people, then he had to correct it.
You know, and correcting it right now with 11 days forward, what is your counsel here? You know, to treat the FBI as if it's an institution that hasn't been, in fact, racked by its own agents' dissent from the course taken by its leadership. The meeting of the Attorney General, the leader of the Justice Department, the highest law enforcement officer in the land, with President Bill Clinton, the husband of the woman who is running for president and who is the subject of the FBI investigation. This is just, it seems, calamity piled on calamity as far as an investigation, an independent, objective investigation goes.
No, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I'm uncomfortable with the way the investigation was conducted. I think it should have used a grand jury, and people who were given immunity should have been taken before the grand jury then and said, you have immunity, you tell us everything under oath. That's the way you do it. And you grill them because they'll be protective of the people they like and they work with. So you have to grill them, but people will surprise you how sometimes they'll just spill the beans when they're under oath like that. So I think this was not the kind of an investigation that was likely to get to the bottom of it. And it does appear now that new evidence has been uncovered. And it's back on track again, this investigation.
And Donald Trump has said he's basically hopes that we are now righting a wrong. In his judgment, the July 5th decision not to prosecute or recommend prosecution was wrong. The system rigged, if you will. Your thoughts about where we are and where we're headed?
Well, it did appear to me there was sufficient evidence to bring a charge. The prosecutor, really the FBI director, which is odd. The decision really should be made whether to prosecute or not by the Attorney General, not the investigating officer like the FBI director.
Yeah, we should remind everyone, Senator, that Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, had said she will follow the recommendation of the director of the FBI.
That's a total abandonment of her responsibility, of course. The FBI director can make a recommendation to her, but she's the one that decides whether or not to bring a case before the grand jury. So I didn't like that. I didn't like the meeting that you mentioned on the airplane. It put Comey in a position that he had to make this announcement. He gave some facts when he made it. You could tell he probably wasn't happy with it. And now other things have come forward, and he's stepped up and done what his duty is, I think. He's got evidence to go forward now with further criminal investigation. He has no other responsibility than to follow that and then tell the American people what he's doing.
I take it, I infer from what you're saying to us, that you don't believe that we would have had this development, that Director Comey would have made this decision to open up the investigation if he did not have blockbuster evidence prima facie, suggesting that it's absolutely momentous, whatever it is that they are investigating.
Well, it's certainly significant, and I don't believe a minor matter would have led to him making this announcement. I certainly don't. So I think it's something significant.